Hello and welcome back to my channel, In Alignment with Life. This is Sister Baasia. I know it's a long name, it's Hebrew. Baasia. So anyway, if you found yourself looking at this channel, it might be something that you need to hear. All right, coincidences are not real. And you know the saying that sometimes when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So welcome to my channel and thanks for listening. If you get a chance, share this video and hit that like button and the notification to get all my future videos. So anyway, the name of this video is, why are you afraid to speak up for yourself? Have you ever been the type of person that is in a situation and somebody is so rude or disrespectful, then later on you get home and you be like, man, I should have said this, or I should have said that. All right. If you're that type of person and you're having this issue, this is a video that you need to hear. Now, I want to share my personal experience with this. I'm 43 right now, and I can remember in my 20s, in my 30s, not in my 40s, but in my 20s and my 30s, I used to be afraid to speak up for myself. I was afraid to be confrontational. I was afraid to say something. And really, a lot of it had to do with just people being rude and stuff. And I just used to let people be rude to me. I don't know. I was just really extra polite and extra I just didn't want to ruffle any feathers. And that was a problem. And it used to irritate me. And I'm going to tell you how I overcame that. Okay, so if you look on this channel, I have a video that says how to get in tune with your intuition. If you haven't seen that video, you should go back and see that video, because I'm going to show you a technique to figure out how to speak up for yourself. If you find that you are the type of person, it doesn't matter if you've grown, there's a lot of people that have this problem. And this is how I found out that I was afraid to speak up for myself and how it started. So I was in prayer and meditation, and I realized that some people would say stuff and I just didn't want to respond, or afraid. And then I sat there and asked myself, I said, why are you afraid? Like, I really was wondering, like, I was sitting on the couch and I was thinking, and I was asking myself, why are you afraid to speak up for yourself and tell people to stop being rude to you and things like that? Why don't you stand up for yourself? And the thought came to my mind. The second question I asked, because I'm not afraid of this person. I'm not scared. So why do I feel fear when it's time to speak up for myself? When was the first time that this happened? And that's what you have to ask yourself if you're having this problem. I asked myself, when was the first time that this happened? And I closed my eyes and I kept asking myself in my mind, when was the first time that I felt fear and afraid to speak up for myself? And my mind took me back in my memories when I was a child. When I was a child, I grew up in a very abusive home. This video is not an attack on my mom to beat up my mom. But my mom was very sick, you know. She had schizophrenia. She was extremely abusive. And what she used to do is always tell us to shut up. So she was very angry, very angry woman. And she had 5 children. She had 5 of us. And she would tell us, shut the F up. You know, pow. We would get smacked in the mouth daily. And every time I wanted to say something, she would hit me in the mouth and tell me to shut up. Nobody want to hear what you have to say. And, or say, for instance, my brothers and sisters, we were running around the house and somebody broke something, and then somebody would blame me. If I were to say, No, see what happened was, and she'd be like, boom, pow, shut up. I don't want to hear it. All y'all in trouble. You know, I was constantly silenced as a child. So that's why it's really important that young women, if you know that you grew up in an abusive home, you need to learn parenting skills and learn nurturing skills and learn children. You need to learn all over again, because whatever you learned at home, it was not correct. And so as a child, I was always told, shut up. I was hit in the mouth and told not to talk. Nobody want to hear what you have to say. So all those things resonated me. They stayed with me well into my adulthood. You know, I'm a 20-year-old woman. I'm a 30-year-old woman, and I'm afraid to tell people to stop. I'm afraid to tell people, I don't appreciate the way you talking to me. No, you cannot speak to me this way, and different things like that. And so what I'm saying to you is, it would be good if you question anytime you feel fear bubble up in your soul in any kind of situation. Just question and analyze, why do I feel fear? You know, ask yourself. And then the second question, while you're meditating, you ask yourself, when was the first time I felt this way? When you ask your mind that question, because your mind is a computer, your mind will go back into your memory, because your brain is a computer. You ask the question, you give your brain a command, and your mind will recall a memory when this first happened. You'd be like, oh, that's why. Because as a child, I was trained not to speak. So if you're looking at this video, make sure, just on your checklist, just make sure you allowing your children to express themselves. Ask your children questions about how they feel, and if a situation come up, explain to me what happened, and really hear your child, and get your child in the habit of expressing their feelings and how they feel about something. Don't hit your child and say, shut up, stop talking all the time, and nobody want to hear what you say, because that stays with them as an adult. I had run into so many problems, especially in relationships, when people were disrespectful. I would allow them to be disrespectful because I had training. As a child, I was trained to allow people to disrespect me. As a child, I was trained to allow people, I was trained not to speak my truth, not to express myself. And I always had fear when I wanted to express myself, because my mother would hit me so hard in my face. I was afraid of those hits. I was a child, but she was hitting me like a grown person. So I was getting blows that were very, very hurtful. I would feel them blows, those slaps in the face and those punches in the shoulder. I would feel those 3-4 days later. It would still be painful. Had a lot of pain in my body, you know, from an abusive childhood. So abusive, if you grew up and you had an abusive childhood, and you think and you feel you need someone to talk to, just inbox me. Let's book a session, and we can get to the root of these issues, so that, you know, when you go forward in the relationship, you'll have a better relationship, and you'll have a better life, and you'll be able to express yourself. Your whole life will change. Just getting rid of these old training and old paradigms that we have from you know, our childhood. You know, so yeah, you can book a session with me, and let's work on it, and I'll help you heal yourself. I'll show you how to do it, but you could just do it on your own by watching this video. All right, so the third thing you do after you figure out, like, when did this start, so what you do is you replace that old paradigm from childhood with a new paradigm. And the way you do it is through affirmations. So you get a piece of paper and get a pen and just write down all the things, the opposite, that I speak up for myself. I speak for my truth. I am not afraid to speak. Whatever you need to write about speaking and being free to speak and courageous. You're not fearful, you're courageous, you're brave, and you check people on the spot. I check people on the spot. I'm brave. I speak up for myself. I'm courageous. And say it every day for 30 days. When you wake up and before you go to sleep, right before you close your eyes, you say your affirmations. When you wake up, so you say your affirmations about speaking up for yourself, and say, I love myself. I'm protecting myself, and I'm sticking up for me. And you write all these affirmations down that you feel that you need to write. And for 30 days, say it every day for 30 days. And that's it. Next thing you know, without even thinking, because what you're doing is you're reprogramming your computer, which is your brain. You're reprogramming your brain to change the paradigm from fear of speaking to being brave to speak up. And that's pretty much it. It's really simple. It's work. You have to do the work. If you don't do the work, you won't get the results. You got to keep repeating. And you can repeat it to yourself throughout the day. And when you are dealing with people, when people are showing disrespect, you could just tell yourself, I'm brave. I'm speaking up. I'm standing up for myself. I'm speaking up. I'm speaking out. And then just handle your situation right there. You ain't got to snap off on people. You ain't got to cuss people out. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, you tell a person, what you said was very hurtful, and I don't appreciate it. And if you continue to speak to me in a disrespectful way, I'm going to remove you from my life. And that's it. That's all you have to say. Have dignity. Okay? Have grace. We are women, and use, our feminine, divine energy, feminine, divine power, and use beauty and grace and dignity when you stand up for yourself. The ghetto, F you, and no. No, beautiful queens, beautiful sisters. You speak with dignity, with respect for yourself and respect for the other person. Honor for yourself and honor for the other person. And leave it at that. And you make good on your threat. If they continue to disrespectful, then you gracefully, beautifully, just gracefully bow out of that relationship. Block them, delete them, whatever you have to do. You stated your claim. You didn't like it. What's going to happen if they continue? You make good on your threat, and you remove them from your life, and it's over. That's it. That's how you love yourself. That's how you respect yourself. That's how you conduct yourself as a woman of God with beauty, honor, and grace. And that's all I wanted to share. I love you guys. Looking forward to hearing your comments. Please donate to our ministry. And I love you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.